I love Final Fantasy. It was one of my first gaming loves, and to this day, it's up there as one of my favourite all-time video game franchises. The amazing worlds, the memorable characters, and the ever-evolving battle system that's never quite the same between games. It is one of the most important gaming franchises to my development as a gamer. I love trophy hunting, getting those platinum trophies, hearing that, and unlocking the happy chemicals in my brain. You love to see it, or feel it, in the brain, the happies. And for the most part, I love trophy hunting in some of the old Final Fantasies. Most of them have platinum trophies you have to work for and put in the hours, but for the most part, it's just doing what I would have been doing anyway in said Final Fantasy, which is everything I can get my grubby little hands on, except 9's trophy list. It can go to hell. We'll talk about that one in the future, no doubt, because 9 is my favourite Final Fantasy, and I take not having its platinum trophy as a personal insult to me, from me, via me. I currently have the platinums in the following 6 Final Fantasy games: 7, 8 Remastered, 10 HD, 7 Remake, Type 0 HD, and 3 of them Final Bar Line, which we can call a decent start. When the Pixel remasters were finally announced for PS4, and with trophies included, I knew deep down that I would have to go through each and every one of them on my quest to get the platinum in every mainline Final Fantasy game that has a platinum trophy. So, like the 4 Warriors of Light, we must start at the very beginning. This is Final Fantasy the Pixel Remaster. It's all about the platinums. I'll be scripting this as I go through the adventure with our 4 Heroes of Light. The names chosen by a wheel based on suggestions from my friends on Twitch and Discord. So, allow me to introduce the 4 epic Heroes of Light that will bring balance back into this dark, dark world. We have All Might the Warrior, Gargoyle the Monk, Wimdy the White Mage, and Sack of Balls the Black Mage. Truly the most heroic group of names you've ever heard. If you've never played Final Fantasy I, the basic plot is that we are the 4 Heroes of Light, the 4 holders of the crystals, whose presence has been prophesied through legend. The once noble, but now evil knight Garland has kidnapped the Princess of Cornelia, and the king wants us to prove that we are who we claim to be and rescue her. Once we do that, we'll be tasked to relight the crystals of earth, wind, fire, water. And so we set forth, but not before a little retail therapy and a little grinding so we're not rocking up to the big bad evil booty daddy Garland at level 1. Instead, level 3 is where it's at. We walk into the Chaos Shrine, but my treasure hunting almost gets Gargoyle killed by these 2 Gygus worms. But we survive and level up some more. And it is worthwhile to seek out every treasure you can see on the map, not only for the goodies inside, but there are 3 trophies for collecting 10%, 50%, and 100% of the treasure chests in the game. So be thorough, though you can always come back later, and in fact we need to, as most of the chests available to us are locked behind a mystic key. After a quick trip back to town to heal up at the inn, we go in to face Garland and kick his butt very easily. No one has ever defeated Garland before. No wonder the world is in near ruin if no one could beat his weak ass. Saving Sarah gets us a loot, the King's Blessing, a repaired bridge to the north where we see the iconic text scroll of Final Fantasy I, and our very first trophy. On our journey to the north, we take a trip into Matoya's cave, who is upset because someone stole her crystal eye. She can't see without her crystal eye. We continue searching the continent when Sack of Balls has a little tumble and dies. We must resurrect Sack of Balls. We cannot continue without Sack of Balls. Why does everyone bite down on my Sack of Balls? Leave my Sack of Balls alone! My navigational skills are a failure, but that's okay, because getting lost gave us ample time to get our second trophy, Apprentice Warrior, for killing 100 monsters. We make it to Pravoka, a town taken over by pirates. Well, that sounds like a job for the 4 Heroes of Light. We find BK, and we diplomatically solve the problem with our words and compromises, and once we're done kicking 9 pirates in the booty, BK gives us a ship out of the kindness of their big heart. Aww. Before setting sail, I decided to do some grinding to raise funds for all the equipment and magic I want to buy, and I bump into this little lizard dude, which took me up to 10% of the bestiary entries completed, and a 3rd bronze trophy. Alas, our seafaring life is not going to be an easy one, being attacked by waves of aquatic enemies, including the Final Fantasy staple enemy, the Sahajin. I hate the Sahajin. Luckily in this game they're easy enough to deal with. We visit Elfheim, whose prince has been under a sleeping curse for the last 5 years. So jealous. I've been under an insomnia curse all my life. Hey Astos, please perform the sleeping curse on me next, yeah? There are some good level 3 spells to get here, but they're far too expensive, so hi ho, off to the grind I go. And while saving up all the pocket money I can from the corpses of anyone dumb enough to attack 3 fearsome warriors and also sack of balls, we get our 4th trophy. Experienced warrior for defeating 300 monsters. And on the same grind, I got the trophy for collecting a total of 10,000 gil. Though I still need to save up a little more to get everything I wanted before moving on to the next place. Rest in peace to my homie Link. After finally buying all the spells and weapons we need, we head to the Western Keep, where the king has been tricked by the same Astos that put the elf prince to sleep and stole his crown. The crown is in the Marsh Cave, which just so happens to be our next destination. However, disaster strikes as it turns out I forgot to stock up on antidotes, and damn near every battle I get into is with a poisonous foe or 2. I run back to town, pick up 20 antidotes, and poison them for Wimdy while I'm at it. And while I'm heading back, we unlock trophy number 6 for defeating 500 enemies. We eventually, after some more drama involving Gargoyle catching a bad case of the dead, reach the chest with a crown in it, and easily dispatch the 4 psycho demons. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Better take it to the king, and oh no! It was a trap! The king was the evil Astos all along! Oh no! And not only that, he was also the one that stole Matoya's eye. It's all coming together now. We easily dispatched Astos. My grinding for pennies earlier might be making us stronger than the game expects us to be at this point, and we get the Crystal Eye. We give the Crystal Eye to Matoya, who thanks us by giving us the Jolt Potion, and also destroying the little bit of ego we had left by calling us ugly. With the Jolt Potion, we can waken the sleepyhead prince in Elfheim, who thanks us by giving us the Mystic Key. We can now go back and collect all the treasures we couldn't unlock before. We start by looting the 4 previously locked chests in this very castle, and that's trophy number 7 for collecting 10% of the treasure chests in the game. We pick up the treasure from Castle Cornelia, including some nitro powder. The Chaos Shrine is next, where we pick up a couple of nice new weapons for All Might. Then the Western Keep, and then in the Marsh Cave, we bump into more psycho demons. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Better kick their butt and steal their lunch money. And hey, what do you know? A silver trophy for obtaining 50,000 gil. After we finish treasure collecting, we find a community of dwarfs. Here we can loot more treasure, but more importantly than that are the 2 VIDs. That's very important dwarves. One we'll get to later, he'll be important for a trophy, but for now we say hello to Nerik, who takes our nitro powder and blows up the land, creating a canal to the eastern side of the map. I'm sure that's healthy for the land. Speaking of unhealthy land, we make a quick stop in Melmond to buy some new magic spells. The people here mention that the land is struggling due to the Earth Crystal losing power. Well, that sounds like a job for us. The Cavern of Earth is next on our list, and as we traverse the earthy cave and hunt of the Earth Crystal and beat off all the nasties in our way, we get the gold trophy for earning a total of 100,000 gil. We take on the vampire that helped rot the land, and he didn't last beyond turn 1. A stab, a few punches, and Diaga is all it took to slay this vampire. Buffy, eat your heart out. However, we can't progress as things stand. Instead, we find a star ruby and give it to this friendly golem as a little snack. He'll walk away happily, allowing us to reach the sage's house, who will then give us the earth rod, exactly what we need to delve deeper into the cavern. With the rod in hand, we bump into the Lich, the first of the 4 elemental guardians. He puts up a lot more of a fight than the vampire did, but he is still no match for our might. We restore the earth crystal, and that brings us trophy number 10. We make our way all around the world, and in Crescent Lake we find a circle of sages. One of them randomly gives us a canoe and tells us to go to Mount Golg, where the Fire Guardian is raging following the restoration of the Earth Crystal. Why the sage was just standing here holding a canoe for presumably years until the Warriors of Light showed up will forever be a mystery. Mount Golg is an annoying dungeon where the floor is literally lava and saps away at your health. However, it is home to many new enemy types, and it is here that we get the trophy for completing half of the bestiary. We hot food it some more until we reach the end and take on Marilith. Probably the sturdiest boss we've taken on so far, but with a little help of haste, we're able to take her down, and we officially hit the halfway point in terms of trophies. We go from the frying pan and into the freezer, as our next stop is the Cavern of Ice. It had been a couple of days since I last played, so in my rush to get right into the action, I may have completely forgot to stock up on healing items, thus ensuring that this dungeon would be a whole lot more dangerous than it really should be. And sure enough, Gargoyle took a hell of a beating, and a Mind Flayer managed to obliterate All Might. But the good news is, we've now opened enough chests for lucky trophy number 13, for opening 50% of the treasure chests in the game. We continue forward, beat up an eyeball, pick up the Levystone, and hightail it out of there before I run out of any capabilities to heal. I sail back to town, do a mega stock up, and still have a cool 250k gil left over at the end, and then make my way down to a little patch of desert where the Levystone summons an airship. Now we can go just about anywhere we want, even the moon. Wait, what's that? That's not this game? Oh. Not the moon! With the world opened up, we decide that our current getup is no good. We need new drip. So we head to the Citadel of Trials to grab a rat tail, which we're going to present to the King of Dragons, our boy Bahamut. In exchange for our bravery, he promotes us all with new job roles. Our team is now All Might the Knight, Gargoyle the Master, Wimdy the White Wizard, Sack of Balls is also here. And more importantly, I get a trophy. Following our upgrades, we then go on a little sightseeing tour. First to Gaia, to stock up on some extra strong magic, almost bankrupting us in the process. We then travel to a caravan, which is selling a fairy in a bottle, which we then return home to Gaia, who thanks us by gifting us Oxyale, which allows us to breathe underwater. So we take that to Onrak, where someone says that we are the ones I have been waiting for, before disappearing into the water. We all follow in a yellow submarine And this takes us to our next big story location, the Sunken Shrine. There are 2 paths to take, and both are correct and mandatory. But ideally, I'd have gone the other way first, and then take this path that I took, as this path leads us directly to the Kraken. The Kraken is really no bother. We zap him until we're serving calamari out of our shiny new trophy. After this, I go back to collect all the treasure I missed out on the other path. I pick up the Rosetta Stone, which I give to a guy in Melmond, who in about 5 seconds teaches us an entire new language so we can speak to the people in Lithuania. One of them gives us a chime, which gives us access to the Mirage Tower, our next big dungeon. Now we go through the relatively small tower until we reach the end, where we are informed that we need a warp cube to progress. Unfortunately, I forgot to go get this earlier, so I quickly fly over to near the Waterfall Cavern, go in there, pick up my cube, and come back to warp to the final map location of the game, the Flying Fortress. And we get a gold trophy to boot. Through the Flying Fortress, I decided to do a little grind before we take on the final fiend. Mostly to help boost us closer to level 50. Now after a little while we head in, beat up Tiamat, and that is the 4 fiends taken care of. We're officially into the endgame now. It's clean up and grind time before the final dungeon. We can quickly get another trophy by taking some adamantite that we found in the fortress and taking it to the dwarf with the red hat in Mount Duergar to get the Excalibur. He also forges us a gold trophy while he's at it. Next was making sure that the bestiary was up to date before the final dungeon. I find a basilisk, an allosaurus, and a tyrannosaurus. Everything else I'm missing, I can find in the final dungeon except one. The War Mech. The random encounter that is also sort of a mini-boss. Arguably the hardest fight in the game outside of the final boss. It only spawns on the bridge to Tiamat, and it's also a 3 in 64 chance according to the guide on PSN profiles. Luckily, it takes just 6 encounters to find the blasted thing, but that's the easy part. The hard part is actually fighting the War Mech, and it does not go down easy. In fact, it comes very close to wiping us out completely with 2 nukes in a row. To be fair, 2 nukes would probably wipe me out as well. Wimdy selflessly gives her life to revive Master Gargoyle, while he ends up with a 50% share of the experience thanks to All Might's killing blow. She comes out of this battle with nothing to show for it except a sore head. But with that out of the way, we're just about ready to move on to the final dungeon. A trip to the inn and the shop later, we head back to where it all began, the Chaos Shrine. As we make our way down the shrine's basements, I am careful to find every treasure chest I can see on the map. I also know that I need to fight certain random encounters for the bestiary. It is searching for the second last random encounter I need, a green dragon, that end up grinding to the point where the whole party reaches level 50. Which is what we wanted, as that's another gold trophy. Just a side note, I only figure out that I'm looking in the wrong place for the green dragon after I got this trophy. The green dragon's on the 3rd floor. I'm on the 3rd basement. I can't read maps. 4B has our last random encounter that we need for the bestiary. Just the 2 final bosses left. But this floor also has the very last treasure chest that we need. It has the legendary Masamune, which any class can wield. We also get the trophy to confirm that this is indeed 100% of all the treasure chests in the game. It is now time for the final battle. This battle against Chaos will be the end of the game, as well as a 100% bestiary. And like I say, I'm new to this YouTube thing. I forgot to hit record until halfway through the fight. I also forgot to fully heal and use ethers, but I remember struggling against Chaos my first time playing this, so I figured I'll probably lose my first attempt at the fight anyway. Nope! I won the fight with only just a little bit of drama. A fun fight that's followed by the ending, and our trophy for 100% completed bestiary. Am I saying that right? Is it bestiary? Is it bestiary? I think it's bestiary. I'm not re-recording this. Let me know in the comments below how I'm supposed to pronounce it. And as the ending text scroll finishes, and the credits roll through the hard-working staff that helped bring this adventure to us, we get trophy number 22 for completing the game. So where's the platinum? Well, you see, I left the hardest task for last. You see, the war mech isn't the hardest encounter in the game. Oh no, there is something much worse, much more sinister. I have to hold X and then press circle a bunch of times while on a ship to pop up the hidden minigame and then press yes. I don't even have to play the minigame, which is what I thought at first, because as soon as you choose to play, you get the trophy. And in my case, the platinum trophy as well. Overall, Final Fantasy I Pixel Remaster is a fairly decent platinum to go for. If you have prior knowledge of the game, it's a pretty chill time as you glide your way through it. I don't think I even game overed once. And for a Final Fantasy game I've only played once before, I didn't think that would be possible. Ultimately, I had a time of around 15.5 hours, though some of that was taken up by me keeping the game open while writing the script or responding to Discord messages. For an RPG Platinum, it's super relaxing, and it's not long at all. The game shows the treasures on the map, so even searching for them isn't terrible. If you're a fan of the classic Final Fantasies, I definitely recommend you give this Platinum a go. And so, the tale of Lord All Might, Master Gargoyle, Wimdy, MD, and Sack of Balls will live on forever. The four Warriors of Light have saved the world. And more importantly, earned me my 105th Platinum Trophy. We'll get to Final Fantasy II in a little while, but I do hope to see you in a future video. I'm still working out how to do these videos and how to present them, but I do hope you enjoyed my journey. Please comment down below if there's any games you would like to see platinumed on this channel. And while you're at it, throw down some names for our Final Fantasy II characters. I'll add them to the list. But thank you so much, and I hope to see you on the next journey.